Hey everybody, congratulations for making it to this call. This is super exciting. We have a very, very sensational guest tonight, Diamond Ambassador Sara Marble. I am a huge fan, as I know all of you guys are too. We soak up her training like there is no tomorrow. So cannot wait to have her pour into us tonight. Congratulations to each and every one of you. You had 2 customers get you qualified to be on this call. So that's a really big deal. Be super proud of yourself. That's 2 lives changed. So I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to let Sara dive on in because I can't wait to hear from her. All right, Sara, go ahead. Take it away.
Take it away.
Take it away. Awesome. Thank you so much for having me, Emily. I'm thrilled to be with all of you, and congratulations. That's a really great idea, and I'm so proud of each and every one of you sharing and reaching out and doing that follow-up and getting those new customers. Absolutely amazing. I'm reminded every day that we have products that are amazing. They're changing lives, and when you set those goals and have those deadlines and then you reach those, that's just absolutely amazing. And like Emily said, to have more lives changed is just absolutely phenomenal. Emily and I got to hang out at the Diamond trip this year, so we sat next to each other at the pool, and it was wonderful getting to know each other. So thank you, Emily, so much for having me on. You guys, it's really crazy. Next month will be my 6th-year Plexiversary with this company, and I'm just absolutely thrilled to be here and to share a little bit of my journey with you guys. I love to share because when I think back to where I was starting out, I did not have a clue. I was absolutely clueless. I didn't know what network marketing was. When I joined to get my products for the cheapest price, I did not even realize that I had just joined a network marketing company. So I'm a registered nurse. I was working 12-hour night shifts. At the time, I had 2 boys. I was juggling a schedule with my husband, who is a nurse anesthetist. So we were doing the nights, the calls, the weekends, the holidays. You do this, you do Christmas, so I'll do New Year's, you know, all of that kind of craziness. And we really got to a point where we said, is this the American dream? Is this what we went to college for, nursing school for, anesthesia school for? You know, the rat race of working for a boss, just our schedules were insane. After I had my second baby, you know, I had that little bit of extra weight that just kind of held on. I gained 60 pounds with my first pregnancy, and I gained 80 pounds with my second pregnancy. So I found Plexus Slim after I had Logan. And like I said, I had no clue what it was. I drank my pink drink. I loved it. At the time, that was pretty much our only product other than our breast health products. So I just loved it. And I started telling the girls at work, y'all, this is amazing stuff. And so I had a few people who ordered from my website, and I got a commission check, and I had no clue what I had done. No clue where the money came from. So to say that I had a slow start is an understatement. It actually took me 7 months to go silver, and that was with me signing up my mom, signing up my husband without him knowing, and then my upline finally felt sorry for me and said, here's the gal I've been talking to, why don't you sign her up and then you'll be silver. None of those tactics would I recommend at all. Signing your mom could be a good thing. She ended up being one of my rock stars, and I had no idea we were going to do well building this business together. But I think it's encouraging for people to know that, 1, I had no clue what network marketing was. 2, I joined just to get my products at wholesale. And 3, it did take me 7 months to get to silver, and that was kind of accidental. What happened, though, was we went to convention. The very first ever Plexus Worldwide convention that had about 280 people there. I sat in the 2nd row as a silver ambassador, and all of a sudden it was like fireworks and bells and whistles and a light bulb moment of, this is something amazing. This is a company that I want to join with. These are products that I believe in. Just hearing the testimonies of what even just the Plexus Slim was doing for people, me and my mom decided that very first session of that very first convention, we're going to do this. We're going all in. We don't know what we're going to do. We don't know how we're going to do it, but we are going all in. And I really, really feel like that was a pivotal moment. We kind of drew that line and said, okay, now we need to learn. We need to figure out what it is we're supposed to be doing. Because before it was drink my pink drink and tell some people. That was all I knew how to do. Although that was the extent of my training for a very long time, and I'll chat with you about that. But we went home from that very first Monday night from that very first convention and said we need to have a meeting. So we had a Monday night meeting, and it was tragic. There were 6 people there, so that included me and my mom. I had some notes written on a note card, and I literally held up note cards and read my notes from note cards. It was awful. Terrible. I was so nervous. My voice kept cracking. My hands were shaking. It was terrible. So the few people that showed up, we said, okay, next week, come back and bring a friend. And so they did. And that is really how we launched our business. But I have to tell you something really important with that. I thought I had to know everything, and I thought I had to do everything a certain way. I thought there was a right way and a wrong way, and come to find out, the day I decided to throw my note cards away and just share why I love Plexus from my heart, why I love the products, the testimony that I had was the day I realized I can do this. I don't have to know it all. I'm just going to share my passion. And so honestly, until I reached Emerald, that was my training. Drink your pink drink and share your story. You know, be passionate, be enthusiastic, smile. And to a certain extent, that will get you, a certain way. I've grown a little bit with my training, but just so you know, being a product of the product, that's in our quick start guide. Number 1, be a product of the product. If you can tell somebody this is why I love these products, that's a great first step in you growing your business. My mom signed up her hairdresser, which turned out to be a great thing. And really, honestly, 9 months after my mom signed up her hairdresser, me and my mom were both driving our Lexuses. So the point in me telling you that is, you never know who your next rock star is going to be. We all have a set of odds and a set of numbers that we need to work through. So when we're reaching out to people, when we're going through our list, when we're sharing, when we're following up, it might be that you've signed 3 level 1s and gone silver, and congratulations if you've done that, which, by the way, if you've done that this month, you're going to get your double bonus, which is absolutely phenomenal. But as you share, maybe it's 10 people you signed up. Maybe you've signed up 20 level 1s. I actually have a gal who went gold by nobody else doing anything. She personally brought in 20 level 1s and went gold by herself. And that's not ideal, but it can be done. But you never know what your set of odds are going to be until you look back and say, oh, see that gal that I signed up, she ended up being my rock star that started duplicating and stuff like that. So don't get discouraged. If you feel like I just keep signing up all these people and nothing is happening, you have a rock star out there waiting, okay? Sarah Robbins is one of my personal friends and mentors. She's a network marketing leader, and she is a top leader in another company. And she described it to me this way. She said, listen, if I were to go bury 4 gold bricks in your backyard right now and give you a shovel and told you, there are 4 gold bricks in your backyard, you just have to find them. If I start digging, now, chances are I might hit a gold brick with my first, shovel full of dirt in the yard. But chances might be that I have to dig up half the yard, right, before I find that first gold brick. So I want you to kind of have that visual of sometimes you get that rock star. My mom would happen to be my first ambassador, and she turned out to be a rock star. But there are other times where you just have to sift and sort and keep sharing and reaching. But I don't want you to get discouraged if you feel like you haven't found that running partner, that person who's going to lock arms with you and set those really awesome goals and run as fast as you want to run. Now, talking about numbers games, and Emily, you'll have to red flag me, because once I get on a roll, if you've got a time limit, okay, I'll watch the time. We'll try to do good. But talking about numbers, I want you guys to remember, the amazing thing about Plexus is it can be as much or as little as anybody wants it to be. So everybody has a different why. Everybody has a different goal. It might be a monetary goal. It might be that you just want to, meet some new people. There's all ends of the spectrum. But if I'm going to set a more aggressive goal and say, you know what, I want to fast start gold, I am going to need to reach out to more people than somebody who says, you know what, I've got 6 months to make silver. It's going to be different depending on your life, depending on if you're married, depending on how many kids you have, depending on if you work a full-time job, depending on if you work 2 or 3 jobs trying to make ends meet. But in the end, it still is a numbers game. I love the formula 5-3-1, which is reaching out to 5 new people every day, following up with 3 people every day, and then reaching out to 1 team member every day. And if you don't have a team member, you can use that time for personal growth and development, which I'll share a little bit more. But if you set a really, really crazy aggressive goal, say by Halloween, you want to be, gold and you're just getting started, up that number a little bit. Can you reach out to 10 people a day, right? So we can go as fast or as slow as we want to, and your results are going to be related to your level of effort and the activity that you're doing. If you want to chat about income producing activity, we can. But let me get back to my story. After I signed up my mom and she signed up her hairdresser, we of course continued to have our Monday night meetings. We continued to regularly share and reach out to people. I think one of the biggest differences that happened after that first convention is I became intentional. Before, I hoped that people reached out to me. Maybe I'll put something on Facebook or mix my pink drink in public and just pray that somebody will say, what is that? So I can answer. After that convention, we decided to be bold, and that's when we started. Before cold messaging was even a thing or was even a term, that's what we were doing. We were reaching out to people intentionally saying, hey, I'd love to share this with you. Have you ever heard of Plexus? And I actually had one girl go silver before she ever got her welcome pack. And all she did was called her top 10 friends and said, listen, I just signed up with Plexus. I'm so excited. I have no clue what that means, but you heard it first from me. And I gave her credit for at least reaching out to people intentionally, even though she had no clue what she wanted to tell them about it. So just a little bit tidbit. That's a little bit of, passion will get you, a little ways. After my mom and I hit Emerald, I realized that I had hundreds of people looking to me to be their leader, to tell them how to get where they wanted to go. And I, for the first time, panicked and realized I had absolutely no clue what I was doing and that I was not the leader that I needed to be for my team. So that was my second turning point when I realized I really have to stop and start investing in personal growth and development. I did not pick up my very first network marketing book until after I reached the rank of Emerald. I hadn't done any research. It worked for me to mix my pink drink and drink it and share. Okay, that got me. It was brand new. Nobody had heard of it. We had a certain combo that everybody adored way back when. So that worked. But I have to tell you guys, from Emerald to Sapphire was a very long 16 months, but I will never trade that time for anything, because that's when I realized I need to work on me. What do I need to do to be a good leader? What do I need to do to learn and build my belief about what network marketing is? Why is this compensation plan so good? I really dove into developing this personal growth and development plan. It started, I have to tell you, 10 pages a day of reading is great, and if that's all you can do, go for it. I think everybody can read 10 pages a day, which averages out to about a book a month that you should be able to get done. When I read my first book, which was The 4-Year Career by Richard Brooke, I was like, oh my gosh, why hasn't anybody ever told me about these books? Like, there's people who have done this before and are telling us how to do it. Why did I not know this? So then that led to the second book. I read Beach Money, and then I read Flip Flop CEO, and then I found Sarah Robbins and read Rock Your Network Marketing. I mean, like, this whole world opened up. Honestly, it felt like the heavens opened up and just downloaded all of this information. And I'm like, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. There's people who are successful in what we're doing, who are sharing what they're doing. So it was an amazing time. But I wanted to share with you guys really quick some notes that I had from John Maxwell's 15 Laws of Growth. And I say that I had it out and then I switched pages. Okay, so I want you guys to think about this. Let's just say I were to just set my goal for Emerald. Being goal focused is good, but I want to tell you why being growth focused is better. So if I'm going to focus strictly on what my goal is, that's a focus on destination. And if you guys want to map it out, if you want to write goals and then growth and do a line, and we'll do columns. We're going to compare the two. And this, to me, when I was at John Maxwell's training last month, it was a huge eye-opening moment for me. So goals focused is a focus on destination. Growth is a focus on the journey. Goals motivate people, but growth matures people. Goals are seasonal, but growth is lifelong. I don't know if you guys are getting the trend for which way we want the priority of our thinking to be. A goal will challenge you, which is great. All of you have that goal to get 2 customers. That's awesome. But growth will change you. So it's that learning process of, it's still okay to set goals. I'm a huge goal setter. I love goals. I have a bulletin board right behind this, behind my computer. So when I sit here at my desk, I'm looking at what do I want my next goal to be? How can I track it? You know, big goal broken down to littler goals, broken down to what do I need to do today? Like, I'm all about some goal setting. But here's the most important. If you're only goal focused, when the goal is reached, you plateau. If you have a growth set, when the goal is reached, you keep on growing. And so personal growth and development, to me, I feel like it's this whole experience of maturing, changing, growing. If I don't hit a goal, it doesn't define me because I've learned something. They say there's no negative experiences, only learning experiences, right? So let's say I reach out to 10 people a day for a month and I don't go silver. Okay, what can I learn from that? Okay, it's a journey of maybe I need to evaluate what am I saying? Maybe I need to evaluate who am I talking to? Maybe I need to evaluate how am I following up? There's all kinds of things that instead of saying, I'm a failure, I didn't hit my goal, I can say, okay, what did I learn from these certain activities in not reaching my goal? And if you have a growth mindset, you will take that month and say, what can I learn? How can that help me to mature? How can that help me to progress? I was an Emerald Ambassador trying to get to Sapphire before any of this started making sense to me. And I'm like, well, darn, I wish I could have, sped it up a little, but I honestly don't think I would have been ready. Had somebody told me as a Silver Ambassador, girlfriend, you need to open up some books and expand and be coachable and, listen to audios, I've been like, you're crazy. I don't know what you're talking about. But it really, really has been absolutely life-changing for me. So don't reinvent the wheel, I think is key. If I could probably give you my top 10 favorites. Maybe I'll just email it to you, Emily. But so many good books that I've read. And I'm like, why would I do anything different? Sarah Robbins is a multimillionaire. She obviously has some basic steps of how to reach out to people, how to share, how to follow up. Why would I do anything different? Now, I do want to tell you guys, if you're not using, I keep this on my desk. If you're not using the success guide that comes with our welcome packs, you are truly missing out. This was, boy, would I have loved this 6 years ago or even 5 years ago or even 2 years ago. The fact that we now have this and it just launched in January at, this last Super Saturday, it's blood, sweat, and tears of how you can be successful in Plexus. If you don't have a success kit, you can get in your back office and you can order one. If you joined before we had them, you can now order them. I keep this on my desk. I'm a Diamond Ambassador and I still refer to this training manual. It has amazing how to develop your elevator speech, how to follow up. I mean, you name it. It's got all kinds of information. So it's 83 pages of a must read. And don't just read it, doggy ear it, underline it, work on those things that you feel like you need to improve on, and it will be beneficial for you. I think one of the last things I wanted to share with you guys, you have to be willing to do what others are unwilling to do if you have big goals with Plexus. If you have a goal to replace your income, if you have a goal to be a stay-at-home mom, if you have a goal to be a Diamond Ambassador, there are going to be some things along this journey that you are going to have to say, okay, what am I willing to do? What am I willing to work for? What am I willing to give up? When I was able to speak at the John Maxwell event, I was given the assignment of discussing the law of trade-offs. And it really, really was a great one for me, because at Emerald, when I decided I need to start reading and I need to start investing, I was like, oh my gosh, I've got 2 kids. I actually had Hudson, my 3rd baby, that same month that I went Emerald. So I had 2 toddlers and a newborn. And I was like, I have no time. This is ridiculous. Like, I can't invest time into personal growth and development and move forward. And then I started evaluating, where am I spending my time? And I had to admit to myself that I did not want to give up the 2 hours of TV time, you know, that magical time you get all the kids to bed, and I would sit on the couch and get my remote and press my DVR recordings. American Idol. I would like to say that I single-handedly voted Kelly Clarkson and Carrie Underwood into the American Idol spot. Like, I was diehard, watched every episode, voted religiously. Parenthood, The Good Wife, like all of those shows. I TiVoed them all, and that was my me time. Like, I deserved it. When I decided to trade off that entertainment time for educational time, that's when I started moving forward. I decided to turn off the TV, and I started opening those books. And that quiet time in the evening is when I took those personal growth and development books, those network marketing books, and really started to build the foundation of my belief in network marketing, my belief in our company. You know, my belief just was rock solid from that time on. So it was just a priority thing. And I have to tell you, I'll just give you a confession that nobody else knows, but I had not watched TV for years. And now somebody suckered me into that darn show, This Is Us. And so for the first time, like, I felt like I was doing something wrong. I put This Is Us on, and y'all, I binge watched all 4 of the first episodes back to back to back till like 1 a.m. It was good, and I have to tell you, I felt like I needed to unplug. I felt like I earned it. But it's a slippery slope. I don't know if you guys saw my Facebook Live yesterday about the slippery slope of, I can very easily see that one show becomes, oh, that's good. Maybe I'll go check out, you know, Kevin Bacon's new one, or whoever it is that's doing a new White House, you know, sitcom drama, whatever. It would be a slippery slope for me to start saying, well, I'm going to go watch a show instead of read. And I have to share with you, when I quit reading and when I quit listening to my audios in the car, that's when my mindset starts going downhill. That's when I start questioning things. That's when I start getting frustrated. That's when, you know, external things that we can't control, maybe say like our back office, that's when that kind of stuff really, really gets to me. But when I'm reading and associating with the right people, and listening to my audios, none of that distracts me. I'm like, we got a job to do. We're going to keep on, you know, rocking and rolling. So it really, really is a big thing. So what are you willing to do that others are unwilling to do to help you on your journey to achieving your dreams? What are you willing to trade off? Are there some small trade-offs that you can make right now in your everyday life where you can say, you know what, maybe I can carve out 15 minutes here, and instead of doing XYZ, I can follow up with 2 people, right? And so those really, really small trade-offs can make really, really big results if you are consistent, if you are consistently doing that every single day. Now, if you say, Sarah, I have no clue where I'm going to fit 2 seconds, I challenge you to journal a week. Because when I started writing down what I was doing, and I actually have somebody that was coaching me for a little while, and she said, why are you so burned out? Why are you so stressed out? And I said, well, I'm working my business, you know, 8 hours a day. Like, this is my full-time job. She said, okay, tell me, I want you to write down your 8 hours. What are you doing? And when I actually had to write it down on paper, I was like, oh, so maybe I'm not working 8 hours. I had to confess to scrolling Facebook 2 of those 8 hours every single day. Like, non-income producing, non-IPA, wanting to figure out whose gossip was going where. And when I said, well, there's 2 hours right there, that's either 2 hours of family time that I could have back. That's 2 hours of power hours for income producing activities that I could be doing. But until I actually sat down and journaled out, I would have just told you I'm working my business 8 hours a day and I have no room to wiggle anything. But in reality, that was not the case. So maybe you guys can journal out. What does your day look like? What does your week look like? What does your month look like? If you're not, hitting your goals, try to say, okay, where am I maybe missing the mark? So what can you trade off? What can you do consistently so that you can achieve things that other people are not, just because of what you were willing to work towards and fight for? I think I just talked for 30 minutes without taking a breath.
You're amazing. I can see everybody's like burning because they're writing down so many good little tidbits. Thank you so much for pouring into my people. These are my runners. These guys are awesome. All levels. Some of them I've never met, and I love seeing their passion and dedication already. It gets me fired up because, like you said, as a diamond, we don't stop. We keep going. I think we've built our own belief because we're like, wow, did I really just do that? Like, am I really a diamond? Really? I watch my diamond doc and I still cry because I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. Like, I can't believe I did this. So, you guys, we don't stop, and I don't want you guys to stop. You fell in love with Plexus for a reason. You said yes to the person that you joined, not necessarily yes to Plexus. You said yes to them. So remember that. And remember diamonds like Sara and people that inspire you that you are watching. They will help build that belief when you're thinking, what have I gotten myself into? I don't know what I'm doing. I've been there. Sara's been there. And you see it's a trend. Different speakers that we've had over the last couple of weeks, they all say this. I have no idea what I was doing. I didn't really want to work a business. It just kind of happened, because it does. Imagine how many times Target would be contacting you if you told everyone about your cute dress that you wore on Sunday to church. You would be making bank because everyone would be like, oh my God, where'd you get your dress? And you just love it so much. I don't care how much this dress is. I'm going to tell everybody about it because I love it so much. That's how we should talk about Plexus. I think there's no price point on health. $124 a month for a triplex versus $12,000 in medical bills in your 50s and 60s. It's a big difference. So, Sara, you hit the nail on the head. Like, I just love you. I love you. And I really appreciate your time. I know you have 3 boys and life is cray-cray over there. So thank you so much. I see everybody like smiling and nodding. So thank you so much. Before we let her go, does anyone have a question? I will open it up for just a second because I know some of them are like desperately down just say hi to you. So if you do have a question, feel free to unmute yourself and ask a question. If you're not feeling very confident, put it in the chat box. She doesn't bite. She's a mom. No. She's just like us. Anybody? Y'all were so excited earlier. Don't fail me. Come on.
So I have a question.
Okay. Who is this talking? I don't see.
Christina Dent.
Oh, by the way, Sara, homegirl just went silver today. Christina Dent is talking.
Yay! Congratulations.
So I just have a question because you have always inspired me because I've been with Plexus now, like a year and a half, and just went silver today. So my journey's been rocky, So what's the biggest advice that you could give when you're struggling with, like, I constantly am reaching out to people. I'm struggling with the aspect of building my network, but staying motivated to continue. I guess, what advice do you have for somebody that's struggling with, like, getting the starter, getting the runners on their team?
Right. So a few things that I will say to that. One is everybody has their own journey. And like I said, everybody's going to find a stumbling block somewhere. So some people might go silver quickly because they love talking to people, right? They just, they've got a great network and they're just reaching out and it's like, let's rock and roll this thing. And other people might be shy. So for somebody who's very shy and introverted, their first speed bump is going to come a lot earlier than somebody else. Everybody's going to have speed bumps. They're just going to be along a different, area. So I would probably, one of my biggest and favorite quotes is plan, do, review, adjust. So my plan is to get to silver. I'm going to set my goal and say, okay, this is my plan. This is 5-3-1, reach out to 10 people a day, whatever. You're going to develop your plan. And then you're going to do that plan. Okay. And then you're going to have a series of, in a week, in a month, you're going to say, okay, let's stop and we're going to review. Was that successful? Did that plan get me closer to my goal? And if you say no, then we have to say, okay, why? And you have to make that adjustment. So most often when I chat with somebody who says, I've been reaching out to people every single day and I'm not getting any response or it's just taking too long, I have found two things. One, they're not making it about the prospect. So the person would read the message and potentially say, I don't need to respond to that. It doesn't apply to me. I don't even know why that person messaged me. Or because we love Plexus so much and we're so passionate and we're so excited, we're like, you need to join my team. I think it'll be great because we've got the triplex and we've got the Mega X and we've got this. And we like totally puke Plexus all over them and freak them out. So in planning and doing and then reviewing, I've helped some people review and we've scaled it back and said, okay, we got to make some few adjustments. You're giving way too much information way too soon. So they made that adjustment and then they went back to their new plan and started doing. So I think that works very well because you can say, okay, what's my speed bump? Why am I not having results with my do? And I need to review it and then adjust it and then start that over. So I hope that's a little bit helpful. But then just to know that everybody has a different network, everybody has a different influence. I really believe that anybody can be successful, but I think we need to have realistic expectations. And I like to tell people, if you can give this 3 to 5 years, what if it takes you 5 years to get to Emerald? Would your other job, would your full-time job that you went to college for, would it be able to get you to an Emerald level salary in 3 to 5 years? And a lot of people, they say no. So I think sometimes people get a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? They want it to happen here and now and quick and immediately, and it does happen that way for some people. But for other people, if you say, you know, let's just stick it out for 3 years and see where you go, because you're not going to do anything else, you know, like you're working your other job, but you're still just going to be working your other job, whether it's in your cubicle or, you know, wherever the case might be. For me, I would always have had a boss at the hospital. I would always have to be signing up for a holiday or a weekend. I mean, that's just, hospitals are open 24/7, 365, you know what I mean? So I loved it and I loved helping people, but it wasn't going to get me to the freedom of being a stay-at-home mom and still being able to make an income. So I think if you evaluate that plan, do review, and then adjust, I think that could be helpful. And when you review and say, what do I need to learn? That's where you can insert a book. So maybe I don't know how to talk to people. So let's find a book about how to learn how to talk to people. 25 Ways to Win with People is an amazing book. Easy read, gives you 25 quick, easy ways. How can I be more relatable with people? I think that's John Maxwell, 25 Ways to Win with People. How to Win Friends and Influence People. If you feel like you don't have influence over your net, I'm such a book nerd now. I could probably spit out a book for anything. You know, I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know this. Whatever you feel like your speed bump is, that's where your personal growth and development will come in. And you can say, well, you know what? I'm going to stop for a week and read this book and see if I can do some personal growth and development, and that will help move me to the next level. Anytime I've reached a speed bump, I'm like, there's got to be a book for this. You know, dealing with conflict resolution as a leader, Orrin Woodward's book, Resolved. You know, it's just like anything that's come along, I could give you a book for what I've tried to read to help overcome that. That was probably a really long answer for a really simple.
That was an awesome answer. And it had a little tough love, which Christina loves that. So that's awesome. Anybody else before we wrap this up? Does anyone else? I know we could just like sit here and like be Googling all night. Brianna? Okay, hold on. Brianna, I'm going to throw you out here. Brianna has like a Sara Marble girl crush.
Oh my God.
I love you. Okay. And I love Brianna. She's a rock star. She's senior Ruby. She just had a baby. Phenomenal. So
awesome.
Go ahead, Bri. Go ahead, Bri.
Just a little funny story. I saw you last year getting into an elevator at leadership. I tell my entire team that story. I was like, favorite girl moment. She was getting into an elevator. I wanted to say hi, but freaked out. My issue right now is that I really want to push for Emerald, but I feel like my team we're just like lacking momentum, lacking belief. So what is your like best advice at building belief in them, like before they've had their own even little bit of success?
Okay, so kind of to give you an idea, Sarah, real quick, her level 1 and Brianna, they are rock stars. They added very quickly. Y'all promoted very quickly. That's how it helped me promote very quickly. And then recently they've had, like, especially this last summer was probably our worst attrition yet. And it just belief just dwindled. There's new supplement companies popping up in their hometown. So I feel like the belief is just like why is Plexus so special?
Yeah, just to put it into perspective, whenever I went Senior Ruby, I think I promoted that month. I wasn't even on the radar to promote, but I ended up promoting with like 876 points. And last month I only hit Senior Gold. So to say that attrition is killing us, it's killing us. And I don't know where to start. And I feel like at the end of the day, it's the lack of the belief that they have in themselves. And I don't know as a leader how to keep pouring into them and show them that when they're struggling to even get one customer or one sale or one ambassador.
Yep. Okay. So this could be a whole nother call. So I'll try to be as concise for what I personally think it is. Several things. One, when I hit a certain level right around Emerald, that's when I switched into management mode. And I won't say that that's what's happened at all, but I was like, yay team, go team. And I realized I loved training and I loved being an encourager and a cheerleader. And so what happened was I got really, really busy. Yay team, go team. Looking back, that I quit personally sponsoring. And I loved management mode. Management mode is my comfort zone. And so when I settle into management mode, that's when a lot of things start slowing down. So I had to start setting new goals and challenging myself. That's, like when I re-entered and now my second position is Senior Gold, I felt a new sense of, okay, I'm going to keep working. I'm looking for 3 new people every month. And that helped me to keep running at the pace that needed to be set for people to follow me. Now, massive attrition, we're in a really unique time with our company. Yes, the back office has been a huge trial for us, but I have to share with you, in 6 years, I could name 3 or 4 other things that equaled that or topped that, and I'm still standing. So it's a matter of what people are willing to do. That whole, what are you willing to do that others are unwilling to do? A lot of people aren't going to be willing to put up with a back office that is temperamental. So finding those people who want to run with you, but the biggest thing is you can't motivate the unmotivated, nor can you be responsible for somebody's success or failure. Okay? So we as leaders have to find a way to help them get in touch with their why, because when their why is so strong, it will get them out of bed and it will motivate them no matter what you do or don't do. So helping them to say, why do you want to be a part of Plexus? Oh, well, I need $500 a month. Why do you need $500 a month? Because I need to be able to send my child to public or to private school. Okay, well, why is private school so important for your family? Well, in public school, my child was bullied and we had a really, really tough time with that. So it would mean the world to me to be able to have my child be in a safe environment. So when you say I need $500 a month, that doesn't move anybody's emotions, right? But when you peel back the layers of why you need that money and what it's going to do for that family, that's just an example for you of if you ask those coaching questions and help your 3 to 5 to 8 runners who are going to help get you back to where you need to be, have them get in touch with their why and know this is beyond a shadow of a doubt what I want to do. For me, my why started as I wanted to lose weight, but then it evolved. It evolved into, you know what, I could be a stay-at-home mom. I could be a stay-at-home mom that could contribute to my family. I could be a debt-free stay-at-home mom who can build orphanages and bring 25 more kids a safe, place to grow and live. Like my why kept growing and growing and growing. And I'm like, competing company, bring it on, And just so you know, just to share with you guys a little bit off the cuff, We did have a competing company come in, and I lost over 3,000 pay points at one time. And that was awful. It still, when we look back, it still makes my stomach turn to even say that. But, you know, I'm still pushing because my belief is so rock solid. I believe network marketing is the only way. I mean, you know, it's not, but for me, network marketing is the only way. I will not go back to being a nurse and working for a boss at 12-hour night shifts. So to have that be so rock solid, a belief in this is the right company, it's the right place, it's the right time, it's the right compensation plan, and it's in the right profession, I'm not going anywhere. So not everybody's going to have that belief, and that's okay. But continuing to bring new people on who you know are going to help you to set that goal and to run forward. Now, as far as the massive attrition, I will have to say a lot of people, if they just signed a bunch of people up to say, I just want to get my products for wholesale, and then within that 3 to 6 month window of, I can kind of take or leave the products, a lot of times you will have that big drop off because maybe that's a group that potentially should have been preferred customers, where you would have had that steady preferred customer, you know, PV coming in and maybe not signing as many. So I kind of had a slower journey, but I feel like it's been slow and solid each level, rather than having a big influx of people come in that maybe should have been customers. And I just usually, you know, give everybody options. I'm like, you know, we've got retail, preferred, and wholesale. And I let them know, you know, as somebody who wants to sign up for the $34.95, I would love to help them find their first 3 people so they can get to silver, and that would help them to get their products paid for. But I set that expectation of you're going to be sharing with people when you join. I'm very, very conservative though. I love my preferred customers and have a lot of preferred customers. Does that help at all?
Yes, very much. Thank you.
Sarah, your yellow is showing.
Yes. 99% yellow.
No, that's why we love you so much, because I'm as blue as they come. Like I kind of feel like as a mom, my yellow has grown because I'm now a mom. So my motherly instinct kicks in, but like you are just like inside out, like beaming. Love it. Thank you so much. I mean, all of this information is just like, I have like 3 pages of notes, and I'm a diamond. So you never stop learning, guys, ever. I love it so much. So thank you. And
you are so welcome.